everyone, and welcome back to Drinking and Reading. Coffee and Weird Tales. I've run out of coffee because I just finished filming the story I was saying I was going to read, and then there was some stuff about it that made me a little bit uncomfortable, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be posting that or not. So as backup, I'm going to read another one. Yes. So, just getting straight to it, I'm going to choose A Question of Etiquette by Robert Bloch, because I really enjoy Robert Bloch stories, and, yes. So yes, A Question of Etiquette. Let's just get straight into it. So this is from, you know, the same as Death Has Red Hair, the 1942 September edition of Weird Tales magazine. Yes. A Question of Etiquette by Robert Bloch. The house was old, like all the rest of them on the block. The gate squeaked as I pushed it open. That was the only sound I heard. My shoes had stopped squeaking hours ago. Taking the census takes the squeak out of shoes very quickly. Yeah. I walked up the steps of the porch. I was tired of walking up steps. I rang the bell. I was tired of ringing the bell. Feet sounded inside. I was tired of feet sounding inside. Just the same, I braced myself. Here it comes, I thought, another noise. And I was particularly tired of counting noises. You understand how it is, walking all day, ringing doorbells, lug a heavy portfolio under your arm, ask the same stupid questions over and over again, and when you finish, you haven't sold anybody a vacuum cleaner, you haven't sold a fuller brush, or even a package of shoelaces. All you get out of it is 4 cents a nose taking the census. There's no chance for advancement. Uncle Sam isn't going to call you into his private office, hand you a cigar and say, "Well now, I hear you've been doing a mighty fine job of this house-to-house work. From now on, you're going to sit at this desk. No more nose counting for you." No. All you get out of this census business is a new list of noses to count tomorrow. 4-cent noses. Big ones and little ones, pug noses and hooked noses, and red, white and bluish nozzles, until you develop a case of nasal allergy. You feel that if the door opens on just one more nose, you'll slam it back and go away after tweaking or punching that nose. So here I was, waiting for this particular nose to stick out. I braced myself, and the door opened. A sharp, pinched beak appeared, and the advanced guard for a nondescript face and an ordinary housewife's body. The nose sniffed the air and hovered there somewhat uncertainly in the protecting shadow of the door. Well, I'm from the US government. This kind of sparkling dialogue went on all day, just one great big exchange of personalities after another. Come on. What? Wait, what? Did I miss something? Yeah, I might have actually. Whoops. Oh, I'm from the US government, madam. I'm taking the census. Oh, census taker. Yes, may I come in and ask you a few questions? This kind of sparkling dialogue went on all day, just one great big exchange of personalities after another. Come on. Down a dark hall into a dark parlour. A lamp flared up as I set the bulky portfolio down on the table, opened it up, and drew out the form. The woman watched me. Her solid face was expressionless. Housewife's face, used to watching encyclopedia salesmen and bill collectors, with one eye kept on the kitchen stove. Well, 35 questions to wade through. Routine, I filled in the male-female bracket and the race bracket, set down the address, then name, Lisa Lorini. Married or single? Single. Age? 407. Oh, what? 407. All right, so I work all day, so I run into a halfwit. I looked into the blank face. Well, hurry on, get it over with. Occupation? I'm a witch. What? I said I'm a witch. For 4 cents, it wasn't worth it. I pretended to write it down and skipped to the next question. Who do you work for? I work for myself. And of course, for my master. Master? Satan. Satan Mercatric, the devil. For 10 cents it wasn't worth it. Lisa Lorini, single, 407 years old, a witch, working for the devil. Oh, no, it wasn't worth it while for 50 cents. Thanks, that's all. I'll be going now. The woman wasn't interested. I folded up the sheet, jammed it into the portfolio, grabbed my hat, turned around, and headed for the door. The door was gone. Well, I can't help it. The door was gone. It had been there only a minute ago, just a plain, ordinary door in an ordinary sitting room. There was an armchair at one side of it and a small table at the other. Well, I saw the armchair and I saw the table, but there was no door in between. There's no fucking coffee in my mug. Well, I started off in another direction. Over here, perhaps. Still no door. No door anywhere in the room. Intriguing. Walking around in the hot sun all day isn't good for anybody. Brooding about noses is the first sign. Then you begin to hear voices answering questions in a crazy way. After that, you can't find doors. All right, I turned to the woman. Madam, would you show me the way out of here? I must have... There is no way out. Funny, I hadn't noticed the quality of her voice. It was pitched evenly but low, resonant. There was no tiredness in it. I sensed something else. Was it amusement? But I should like you to stay here with me for a while. It was fortunate that you dropped in. Dropped in? From a witch? But she wasn't a witch, damn it! There are no witches! There are no doors. You will share a cup of tea with me. Really, I must be... It is prepared. Sit down, young man, please do. I'll just take it off the fire. Now, I hadn't seen the fireplace behind me. I hadn't seen the flame, but the fire was burning and there was a pot on the hearth irons. She stood over and a shadow fell across the wall. No, she stooped over. She stooped over and a shadow fell across the wall. It was a big black shadow, big and black, in the way that a frightened child says the words, a big black shadow of a woman creeping across the wall. I stared at Lisa Lorini. She still looked like a housewife, black hair, plaited and parted in the middle, a slim figure, unbent by years. 407 years. A good thought to skip. Her face now and nose was sharp, the mouth taut, the eyes slightly slitted, but the features were quite ordinary except that the trick of the firelight lent them a vulpine cast. A red face grinned as it bent over a pot. No, she wasn't feeble-minded. Feeble-minded like the old hags they used to burn at the stake in medieval days. Hundreds of thousands of crones and bedlams burned at the stake. All of them feeble-minded, millions of them. All feeble-minded. Not a sane one in the lot, of course not. Witches were a myth. All of the millions were merely crazy in the same way, with the same story. Millions of lunatics. There were no witches, only I was afraid. She was smiling at me. One claw One hand, held out the cup. Stem spiraled up from the brownish liquid tea. Witch brew. Drink it and... What? Yes. Drink it and shut up. This was foolishness. I tried to look around again for the door, but it was dark in that room. The fire flickered so. It was quite red, that fire. I couldn't see clearly. Besides, it was hot in there, here. Drink the tea and get out. She had a cup too. It wasn't poison. She hadn't dropped anything into it. What is it witches are supposed to drop? Herbs, I guessed. And all that stuff you read about in Macbeth. They believed in it those days. Lunatics. So I drank the tea. Maybe she'd let me out then, or rather, I'd humour her and drink it and then get out. That sounded a little better. I don't have any visitors. Her words came softly. Oh, I don't have any visitors. Her words came softly across the table. I felt her eyes watching my face. I imitated a man smiling. I used to, but business has fallen off. Business? Witchcraft, sorcery, it's no good anymore. So few people believe. They don't come to me for love philters or little things like that, let alone the big things. I haven't made a poppet for years. Poppet? Okay, I think that's going to be part 1. This is interesting, I like it. And it's got the usual, Robert Bloch humour, which I really like. Yeah, I do. He writes well. It's my type, it's my style. This is my style. Actually, yes, I should be reading more Robert Bloch, because I want to get into writing again. I miss writing, I miss doing that. Fucking woe is me. Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this part 1 of A Question of Etiquette. No real mystery as to why it's called that, I don't think. Yes. Thanks for joining me. Hope you can join me again for part 2. I don't know how long this is, I'm not going to check, but hopefully 4 parts, probably 3. Yes. Thanks for joining me.